Somewhere right now, on a rain-slicked street in Tokyo, a teenager is unwrapping a Big Mac. 12 time zones away in the heart of Sao Paulo, a father is ordering Happy Meals for his kids. And in a quiet suburb of Paris, someone is dipping their fries into a paper cup of ketchup. The same fries, the same cup, the same taste. No matter where you are on this planet, whether you're standing in the neon-lit chaos of Times Square or the sun-baked avenues of Riyadh, you will find those two golden arches rising against the sky. Calm, familiar, inevitable. Most people look at McDonald's and see a fast food chain, a place for cheap burgers and late-night cravings. But that's exactly what they want you to think, because McDonald's is not a restaurant business. It never really was. McDonald's is a machine, a perfectly engineered, endlessly replicable machine, built not to feed the world but to own it. And the weapon it used to do that? A business model so elegant, so ruthlessly effective, that it didn't just change the food industry, it rewrote the rules of global commerce itself. This is the story of the franchise. This is the story of how a small hamburger stand in California became the most recognizable brand in human history. And somewhere in this story, there is a blueprint. One that every billionaire, every empire builder, every entrepreneur worth their ambition has studied, borrowed from, and tried to replicate. Welcome to the Billionaire's Playbook. Let's get into it. It's 1954. America is riding a post-war wave of optimism and appetite. Cars are getting longer, highways are getting wider, and a 52-year-old milkshake machine salesman named Ray Kroc is driving through the California desert on a hunch. He'd received an unusual order. A small restaurant in San Bernardino had purchased 8 of his multi-mixer machines. 8. That meant they were making 40 milkshakes simultaneously. Ray Kroc needed to see this for himself. What he found when he pulled up to that modest roadside stand would change everything. The McDonald brothers, Dick and Mac, had built something that shouldn't have worked. They'd stripped their menu down to almost nothing. Burgers, fries, shakes. They'd eliminated waitstaff, replaced china plates with paper wrapping, and redesigned their entire kitchen like an assembly line. Hot, efficient, and brutally fast. They called it the Speedy Service System. People were lined up around the block. Ray Kroc stood there in the California sun, watching that line move, watching burgers fly across the counter. And he didn't see a restaurant. He saw a formula. He saw something that could be copied, not once, not twice, but thousands of times, everywhere. He made the McDonald brothers a proposition. Let me franchise this. Let me take this system and plant it across America like seeds. They hesitated. They were comfortable. They didn't need the headache. But Ray Kroc was not a man who took no for an answer. By 1955, he opened his first McDonald's franchise in Des Plaines, Illinois. And then the next one. And the next. He wasn't just building restaurants. He was building a template. A master copy that could be stamped into the earth anywhere on the planet and produce the same result every single time. This was the founding obsession of the McDonald's empire. And it started with one dangerous, radical idea that perfection, once achieved, could be replicated. Here's a question that sounds simple but runs very deep. How do you make sure a burger tastes exactly the same in Helsinki as it does in Houston? The answer is not luck. It is not talent. It is systems. McDonald's built an empire on the back of obsessive, almost fanatical consistency. Every patty weighs exactly 1.6 ounces. Every portion of fries is measured by weight, not by eye. The oil temperature in the fryer is monitored to the degree. The time a burger can sit before it gets tossed, counted down to the second. This wasn't bureaucracy for bureaucracy's sake. This was a philosophy. Ray Kroc understood something that most business owners never fully grasp. Your brand is only as strong as your worst location. If one McDonald's serves a bad burger, it doesn't just hurt that restaurant. It chips away at the trust customers have in every McDonald's on earth. So they built the Hamburger University. Yes, a real institution, opened in 1961 in the basement of a McDonald's in Elk Grove Village, Illinois. Operators, managers, and franchise owners flew in from around the world to learn not just how to run a restaurant, but how to maintain a standard, how to protect the brand, how to be McDonald's. Today, graduates of Hamburger University far outnumber graduates of Harvard Business School. Consistency became the culture, and culture became the fortress. Walk into any McDonald's on Earth and the experience is engineered to feel familiar. The menu board positioned just so, the counter at a specific height. The red and yellow palette triggering warmth, hunger, and comfort in your brain before you've even opened your mouth. None of this is accidental. Every detail is a deliberate decision, handed down through a system so refined it borders on art. Now, here's where the genius really kicks in. Ray Kroc understood something that most empire builders miss in their hunger to control everything. You cannot scale through ownership alone. There aren't enough hours, enough managers, enough trust to personally oversee thousands of locations across 100 countries. So instead of building an army, he built a network. The franchise model is deceptively elegant. McDonald's doesn't just hand someone a set of keys and wish them luck. It sells a system, a complete operating manual, a brand, a supply chain, a marketing machine, and decades of proven know-how. In return, the franchisee pays a fee, agrees to the standards, and runs their location as if their life depends on it. Because it does. They've invested their savings. Their name is on the line. Their success is the system's success. This is the hidden genius of franchising. It converts entrepreneurs into brand ambassadors. Local owners bring local knowledge, local hustle, local relationships, but they operate within a framework so tight that McDonald's brand integrity never wavers. By the 1970s, McDonald's was opening a new restaurant every single day. By the 1980s, it had crossed into every major continent. By the 1990s, the Golden Arches were more recognized globally than the Christian Cross. Nearly 40,000 locations in over 100 countries, and approximately 95% of them are run not by McDonald's Corporation, but by independent franchise owners who've bought into the system. Kroc didn't scale a restaurant. He scaled a revolution. McDonald's overhauled its menu, introducing salads, apple slices, and grilled options. It renovated thousands of restaurants to feel less like plastic dining halls and more like modern cafes. It leaned into McCafe, a direct challenge to Starbucks, turning its locations into destinations for coffee drinkers who'd never considered walking through those arches before. And then there was the global challenge of culture. You cannot drop an American institution into India and expect it to land without turbulence. Cows are sacred. Beef is off the table, literally. So McDonald's created the Macaloo Tiki, a spiced potato burger that became one of its top-selling items in the country. In Japan, teriyaki burgers. In the Middle East, macarabia wraps. In France, the company leaned into local cheese culture and premium ingredients to win over notoriously proud diners. The lesson was profound. True scale does not mean identical everywhere. It means consistent in quality, adaptable in character. And so here we arrive at the real revelation. Ray Kroc did not build an empire by making the best burger in the world. He built it by building the best system in the world. McDonald's didn't sell food. It sold a blueprint. A living, breathing, endlessly replicable blueprint for how a single idea, executed with radical consistency, could be multiplied across the entire globe. Every great franchise business you can name, every gym chain, every hotel network, every coffee brand with ambitions beyond its home city, has studied the McDonald's model. Some have copied it, some have refined it, but none have surpassed it. The franchise model teaches us something ferocious about power, that the greatest businesses in the world are not built on genius alone. They are built on systems that survive the genius. Systems that run when you're sleeping, when you're sick, when the founder is long gone. Ray Kroc died in 1984. But the machine he built never missed a beat. That is not success. That is legacy. The Golden Arches are not just a logo. They are a monument to what happens when vision meets discipline, when ambition meets architecture, when one man looks at a hamburger stand and sees not a meal, but an empire waiting to be unleashed. The McDonald's model is not just a business story. It is a masterclass in how to take something and make it infinite. And that, right there, is the Billionaire's Playbook. If you want to understand the mechanics behind the world's most powerful empires, the systems, the strategies, the moments of genius and near collapse that defined them, then you're in exactly the right place. Hit subscribe, turn on notifications, because the next chapter of the playbook is already being written, and you do not want to miss what's coming.